Obviously a disappointing weekend against the Dogs. John talked about errors, especially from a couple of the more experienced blokes down back. Have you had a chat about that amongst yourselves?
Yeah, we addressed the game yesterday. As you said, it was disappointing. Credit to the Bulldogs. I thought they played really well. But as you said, I think we let ourselves down in certain areas, and skill errors was one of them.
What is that? What do you put that down to? Anything, or just mark it off as a one-off?
I guess we don't want to happen again. So we'll address it, work on it at training, and hopefully it doesn't become a consistent theme.
It wasn't exactly a slow start this week. You got the first 2 goals, but then they kicked 5 in a row. You've had slow starts. How do you combat that sort of stuff?
Yeah, yes, the week before against Fremantle, we had a slow start, and we made an emphasis on the weekend that we start well, which we did. The first 10 minutes was pretty good, but like we have been for most of this year, I think we've been good in patches and bad in patches. So we've just got to work on our consistency and make sure we do play 4 quarters.
Is that a concentration thing, or just?
Yeah, I reckon it is. A lot to do with concentration and just applying yourself for the whole time.
And back to the G this week, obviously the first time since the grand finals. Good to get back there.
Yeah, definitely. It's always good to play in the G, and we've had some good memories there and some bad ones, but I think that's behind us, and we're really looking forward to this weekend.
And you've got the Hawthorn there as well, coming up pretty soon. So it's good to get those 2 games there, because you don't get many chances during the season to play there.
Yeah, as I said, it's always good playing on the G. We'll just look after this week first, and concentrate on the Hawks when we have to.
Coming off that loss is a good time to sort of face a side like Melbourne?
I'm not exactly sure what you mean by that. I reckon that they've been going okay, definitely improving from year to year. So, yeah, we'll have our work cut out this week.
What is the chat like after a loss like that in the sheds? Do you sort of look at one another and put your hands in the air and say, oh, I'm not really sure?
Not really. I think whenever something happens like that, we want to address why it happened, and then what are we going to do to sort of rectify it. Obviously, pointing out that skill errors was one of the problems, but the consistency, as I mentioned as well. So we're definitely working towards playing 4 quarters of footy and hopefully not making as many skill errors.
So the boys, they look pretty striking in their pink socks. What's that about?
Yeah, definitely. Raising awareness for the Pink Lady game, which is for breast cancer, both awareness and raising some funds. And I know both clubs are really happy to participate in this game.
Good time for Mother's Day as well. You're going to take your mum home some socks?
Fortunately, Mum's away, but when she gets back, I might have a pair of socks waiting for her.
Hey, what do you make of the Ds? Because down the bottom of the table, obviously around there, but they've played some pretty good patches of footy.
They've been really competitive, yeah. They dropped off a bit in the second half last week, but as I said before, that every year under Roosie, I think they've been improving, and I think they've continued to do that this year. So there's no doubt we'll have our work cut out for us this week.
You missed a couple of weeks ago. How's the body feeling?
Yeah, fine. You don't want to have a week off this early in the season, but probably need it and feel pretty good now, yeah.
And Jeffy Garlett might be an opponent this week. He's a pretty nippy little fella. You'd want to be on your toes.
Yeah, definitely. I think they've got a few good small forwards down there, and he's definitely one of them. And he's one of the quicker guys running around for sure.
And looking forward to some dry weather this weekend, hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully. We've played a few wet games. I guess we'll just play what we're given.
Yeah. And obviously, being a defender, you can see most of the play unfold in front of you. What are your thoughts on Dan Hanbury's start to the season? He's obviously averaged 30 odd possessions in the first 4 or 5 rounds. So yeah, what do you make of his season so far?
Yeah, he's definitely had a great start. I spoke about before about being consistent, and he's one of the few guys who has been. So if we can emulate what Dan's been doing, that'll go a long way to helping the team as well.